Previously on Natural Dreams Revelation, I'm getting Tay and Howard back together. It's time they see that they belong together. He's gonna bring him back as soon as Susan get a ring, which gives me an idea. Should I be worried? No, but I do need to talk to him first. At least Taya loved me and not you. No wonder why she dumped you and as Howard punched Cameron, who quickly got up and punched Howard in return, who fell on the other table. Oi! And as Nally and Taya came between Howard and Cameron, who saw them. Will one of you lot explain what the hell was going on here? Meanwhile, at the Grand Pub, Nally, Taya, Cameron, and Howard are talking just as all the patrons left the pub. I'm sorry, are you two suddenly muted after going at each other's throats? We're alone. Start talking now. Why don't you ask him? We asking the both of yous. I'll make it simple. I told him to stay the hell away from you. I'm sorry, and as Taya looked at Howard, who the hell do you think you are, making demands as if we're still married? Meanwhile, at the Los Angeles prison in the interrogation room, Martha's sitting at a table waiting. Till Darren came in with the security guards, who led him to one of the chairs, which is across from Martha. And as one of them went and uncuffed Darren, and finished just as he went and sat down facing Martha. And as the guard went and got Darren's left arm and began handcuffing it to the table, which Martha saw. That won't be necessary. Uncuff him. Ma'am, we were specifically told. I don't give a damn who instructed you. Take the damn cuffs off so I can speak to him like a human being and not some animal that appears to be a threat to me. You clearly don't know how dangerous you can be. That would be up to me to judge. Now, can you give us a long time? We will also instruct you to be. Well, I'm instructing you lot to do one and stand by the doors. I need to speak to Darren alone. Unless I call your superiors and have you lot fired. Yeah, I didn't think so. And as one of the guards went and uncuffed Darren's left arm from the table, while the others went and left. And its remaining guard turned and also went and left the room, closing the door. Why do they always gotta make it so complicated? Can we get on to why I'm here? I like you. Straight to the point. Okay then. I'm here to evaluate you, seeing that your future clearly depends on it. Meanwhile, at the Whitestone Ridge Manor, Karen and Lucy both came in, with Lucy closing the door, just as Bobby came downstairs to where they are. And Karen and Lucy saw Bobby, just the guy I needed to see. How are you, Karen? I'm good. We need to chat somewhere private. We can do it in my room. My wife's grocery shopping for the house. Lead the way. Mom, trust me. And as Bobby led Karen upstairs, just as Tristan came out of the living room to where Lucy is, who saw him. I thought I heard voices. Brian's asleep. As soon as he awakens, we can go back home. What's going on? My mom is planning on getting your parents back together as a thank you for saving our family. She can't do that, seeing that my mom's already married to Brody. Yeah, we both know that. It's just telling my mom it's gonna be a completely different story. Meanwhile, at the Grand Pub, Nally, Taya, Cameron, and Howard are talking. Even though we're not married, I'm still looking out in the best image. Well, I don't need your input, nor do I want it. By the way, yes, I know. You two are curious to know that how I survived the jet ski explosion and all. You don't have to explain. I've lived here long enough to start questioning the unknown as I know it. I miss you a lot, Taya. Yeah, I bet you do. What the hell is going on here? And as Eric came to where they are, and Natalie, Taya, Cameron, and Howard saw him. I just got a text about a fight here involving you. Eric, he just had a small disagreement with, look, I hired you to manage this pub, not picking fights, and I get it. I'm sorry, Eric. It was very inappropriate on my behalf to act the way that I did. I assure you, it will never happen again. Can I have a word with you while you're here? And as Eric led Natalie to the back, but stopped and turned and looked at Howard. Mate, this is far from over. We need to have a few words. And as Eric turned and continued leading Natalie to the back where his office is, while Cameron's iPhone rings. And Cameron got it out and saw who it is. Wow, didn't take that long for people to know that you're back in action. And Howard, would you two lot excuse me? And as Cameron answered the phone, walking out. What's going on? And as Howard turned and faced Taya, now that we're alone, we need to have words of our own. Meanwhile, at the Los Angeles prison in interrogation room, Martha and Darren are talking. My future? You're making it sound like wrong. Look, I'm gonna be asking questions. Some you feel that might be uncomfortable, and if that's the case, please say skip. Fine. Have you ever thought about suicide? I am literally required to ask everyone that question. No. Have you thought about harming others? No. Do you have mood swings or hearing things such as voices or seeing things? No. Tell me your version to why you killed your wife's father-in-law. The thing is, it happened really fast. So fast that it's fine. Just tell me the details in which you remember. Let's just say he and I didn't exactly see eye to eye. And by the time I tell you what happened, it would change everything you know. Meanwhile, at the Whitestone Witch Manor in Carly's room, Karen and Bobby are talking. You need my help in getting Taya and Howard back together? Yeah. I want to repay her for all that she's done to my family. That's what best mates do for one another. And I get that. I just want my best mate to be the man she loves, which is clearly Howard. Karen. He left her back in 2004 to join a band, abandoning his family in the process. Look, I really don't need a recap of the events that I already know. Look, I'm sorry. It's just I get it. I know why you're doing this. Do you really? Yeah. How do you want to go about this? In order for this to happen, you cannot say anything to anyone, mainly your wife. Meanwhile, in the living room, Lucy and Tristan are talking. How is supposed to tell her that my mom is married to her nephew? Yeah, my mom has a stubborn mind when she's fixed on something. And as Lucy went and got her iPhone out from her purse, which Tristan saw. What are you doing? We need to call Sharon. Let's not bother her. She's on a honeymoon with Tyler. Right. We gotta do something. Let me call Brody. Maybe he can tell my mom himself. And as Lucy began calling Brody, but got his voicemail instantly, and she hung up. Damn it. You're not gonna leave him a message? No. What I have to say, I gotta say it to him in his face, not leave it in a message. Mom's only doing this so to distract her from worrying about my brother Julian. Wait. Why not let my mom tell her? Because she's not gonna listen to her nephew, and even so, she may not accept it. Meanwhile, at the Applewood Ridge Manor in the living room, Jennifer came with 2 cups of tea to where Casey is, and gave her one, which she got just as she sat down. Okay, let me get this straight. You've been married to Eddie for a minute, and you're still planning for Julian. Did I hear right? Look, I know it's weird, far from it. I was still in love with Matt, even though I started dating Richard. But eventually, you married him and gave birth to an amazing daughter. Yeah, those were the happiest days of our lives, even though we're still solid. Casey, I'm married 3 times this year. Will, Rex, and now Eddie. Except Rex was, yes, I loved him as well. After all, we left the country and all, but came back in the end. What am I going to do? I'm currently pregnant, but in love with my ex. Meanwhile, unbeknownst to Casey and Jennifer, Eddie's by the living room entrance, having heard everything what Jennifer said. Meanwhile, at the Grand Baptist Church in the women's dressing room, Kristen came back in her normal clothes to where Lauren is. I thought she was set to say I do to Will. I'm still am. Just anxiously waiting for Scott to tell me that my divorce is finalized. Oi, don't let that stress you out. It's gonna happen. Thank you, Lauren. You know what? I might as well tell you since you're dying to know. After your wedding with Will, I'm going back to Boston. But you're from, yes, I know. After high school, I went to Boston for medical school while Sonny had other ideas. The point of the matter is, I want to ask my husband if, wait, you're asking Jesse to move cross country to Boston just so you can have a glance at what your ex-boyfriend is? No. Besides, Sonny's moved to New York City, which is not too far from Boston. Tell me, really, what is exactly is your plan, Lauren? Meanwhile, at the Grand Pub, Taya and Howard are talking. What is it, Howard? I miss you a lot. And the kids, I'm not stopping you from seeing them. Case you're aware, all of them are grown-ups. Not all of them. Tanya, you remember her, right? Yeah, the one who we had a woman be a surrogate because she wanted another child. I believe we did. Let's not forget who walked away in the first place. Yeah, I can see clearly you're gonna hold that over my head forever. So what? It's my given right. And while we at it, why do you give a damn if Cameron and I get back together or not? As memory serves me correctly, and I believe it did, he was the reason to why our marriage ended wrong. That was all you. You're the one that set our marriage to self-destruct in motion. And yes, I have needs, one you can't fulfill. And that's where Cameron came in, a knight in shining armor to the rescue. Meanwhile, in the office, Nally and Eric are talking. It seems like you're giving a lot of thought to this. Yeah, that's why you appointed me to this job as manager. I want to take it to the next level. Look, I trust you, Natalie. Now, what was that fight about here? Oh, right. Cameron's alive and all. We all thought he died. Yeah, I get that. Okay. Howard asked him to leave Taya alone, and that's when we walked in the midst of them brawling over Taya. Okay, I think I see the point here. So, how are you and Gwen doing? We're hanging in there. Look, I am not a fan of Taya Howard myself, considering what he put her through by walking out on his family. He could have stayed connected to them, but nothing. We better get back out there. Good call. Meanwhile, at the Los Angeles prison in the interrogation room, Martha and Darren are talking. When Cheryl and I got together, her father instantly took a dislike to me, but I didn't let it discourage me in any way. I kept on dating her. Why would her dad hate you in the first place? In case you're unaware, dads always hate when their daughters date. But I knew when I saw Cheryl, she was the one, so we got married. Even though it was no rush, her father sort of eased down, or so I thought. I found out the reason for his sudden support is I caught him nearly raping his wife in the process. He told me it was a one-off. Do you believe him? Yeah, I did. So I saw him attempted at it again, and that's when we really got into it. So basically, what you're telling me is, you were protecting Cheryl's mom in the end. The dude's a bastard. If I hadn't stepped in, you're saying it's like he would try to rape her again. Exactly. Or haven't you heard what I've been telling all along? You know what, Darren? Consider this your lucky day, because I'm going to help you. My child's less than 2 hours away. How exactly and as Martha got up? You leave that part to me. Just sit tight. And as Martha turned and head on. Meanwhile, at the Whitestone Witch Manor in Carly's room, Karen and Bobby are talking. Not exactly sure what I've just heard. You heard me correctly. You want me to lie to my wife about reuniting her mom with the very man she hates, which is Howard, right? Look, I know this might be challenging, assuming that you two don't keep secrets from each other. That's one way of putting it. But this here tops the cake. I know. So can you help me, please? I owe this to my best mate. Alright. Even if I agree to this, how exactly are we gonna bring them together? Do you know any places that they can be alone so they can sort matters between them? Actually, I think I do know one place. Meanwhile, in the living room, Tristan's waiting. Till Lucy came back in to where her husband is, who saw her. Your sister's on her way to pick up Brian. What's the plan? Figure out how and where my mom is going to arrange for them to meet. And as Karen and Bobby came in, and Lucy and Tristan saw them, what are you two plotting at? Nothing. We could very well ask you the same thing. I've already stated my intentions quite clear. You're in this as well, Bobby? Come on. And as Karen and Bobby turned and went and left the living room. Let's follow them. You really think that's wise? Why, of course it is. And as they went and left the living room as well. Meanwhile, at the Applewood Ridge Manor in the living room, Jennifer and Casey are talking. So the baby, who's the father? Is it Eddie? I don't know. It could be Rex. I mean, him and I worked together for quite some time. And Julian's not in the equation? Oh my god. That would add more complication to this mix. You are the one that set all this in motion. Yeah, I know that. I just don't know what to do. You gotta ask yourself this. Who is the one man you want to spend the rest of your life with? It's an Eddie, who I think is an amazing person. Oh wait, you're married, I know that. Second option, Julian, who's also gorgeous. Only thing is, you can only have one. Well, Hunter had two wives, Kayla and Sabrina. Yeah, that was kind of hard to spin, seeing that we agreed not to tell anyone. I love my current husband very much, but he's not Julian, not Izzy. I'm betting you're thinking about him right now, aren't you? Meanwhile, by the living room entrance, Eddie is continuing listening on their conversation, and as he turned and head to the front area and arrived and got his iPhone out and began calling someone. Yeah, it's me. I'm gonna need a favor. Meanwhile, at the Grand Baptist Church in the recreation room, Lauren and Kristen came in. You don't have to worry. I'm not going after Sonny. I'm over him. Yeah. That's like me getting over Mike. You did, by getting engaged to Will Goodcharm. Yeah, I've never felt anything for the guy till after I slept with him. Now I heard it all, and as Lauren turned and faced Kristen, but I understand. Look, I rushed things with Jesse just to keep Paul from attempting for me to take him back in the end. Even though what you and him had was a fling, he probably wanted more. Of course he did. I just wasn't ready to date. Well, at least not him for now. You were dreaming about the perfect prince to come save you. Oh, shut up! You know exactly what I mean. Anyways, everything is gonna work itself out. Meanwhile, at the Grand Pub, Taya and Howard are talking. Okay, I am done with whatever this is. Why are you being so dismissive? Because I don't have time for you and your little games. I have moved on with my life, so please respect my wish and back off. And as Taya turned and went and left the pub, just as Natalie and Eric came back to where Howard is and he saw them. You just missed her. Me, I mean what I said. That can never happen again, and it won't. Relax, Eric. I don't think Howard can afford to be starting fights. Meanwhile, outside, Taya's approaching her car. And as she arrived at it, just as Cameron came to where she is. Hey, and as Taya saw him, how are you? I'm fine. Look, I've missed you a lot. So have I. And as Taya's iPhone beeps, and she got it, saw the message saying, meet at the Leaving Book Cafe ASAP. It's urgent. Everything alright? Yeah. Look, I gotta go. And as Taya put her iPhone up, we'll catch up later. I'll find you. And as Taya went and got in her car, and as she started up and drove away. Meanwhile, at the Los Angeles courthouse outside the trial room, Darren is waiting. Till Martha came to where he is, and he saw her. Here's the deal. Let me do all the talking. You still haven't exactly told me your strategy. You're just gonna have to trust me to do what I do best. And as Shannon came to where they are, and Martha and Darren saw her. This is gonna be your lawyer, helping me win your freedom. Wait, don't I never mind that. You got my message on what we should do, right? Yeah, not to worry, Darren. You're in good hands with me. Meanwhile, at the Leaving Book Cafe, as Bobby finished locking it, and as he went back to where Karen is. Okay, everything's set. Good. Taya should be on her way as we speak, so we have to come up with a good speech to keep her here. You do know an empty cafe is gonna look suspicious wrong. I have a few of my mates in the back ready to pose as patrons. Now, did you text Howard? Yeah, he should be on his way. Good. By the way, that was a clever move on what you did to your daughter, and as much as I love Lucy and Tristan, I cannot have them interfere with my renewal strategy. Meanwhile, at the Graham High School in the hallway, Lucy and Tristan are walking down the hall to Lucy's seat closet. There it is, and as they head to where the closet is, and as Lucy opened the door, and as she went in, followed by Tristan. I don't get it. It's just a supply closet. Not exactly. And as Lucy pointed Tristan to the secret patches behind the mop, just as the door suddenly slammed shut, causing Tristan to head back and try to open it, but couldn't. No, this can't be. What now? And as Tristan turned and faced Lucy, I have a funny feeling your mom is on to us. On the next Natural Dreams Revelation, Owen's gonna use your kids as a way to win you back, and you cannot let that happen. What's going on? We need to find my mom and Bobby before they make the biggest mistake. You do know what your trucks. Howard and Taya have been apart for too long, and it's high time for them to sort things between them. Meanwhile, in the basement, Taya comes face to face with Howard, who saw her. We meet again, and as Taya's not pleased to see him,